everybody, Kevin here. I am back. This is Nerdly Presents Off the Reel. This is an Off the Reel review, and tonight I'm going to be talking about a movie called The Highest Stakes. A movie that, I won't lie, when I saw the poster and I saw Seth Green front and center of the poster, I was like, I'm going to give that a watch. Then I read the premise. This big poker game, more than just winning money, it's a bit of a life and death situation. I was kind of sold on that as well. I love movies about poker games. Suicide Kings is one of my favorite kind of underrated movies from the last 20 odd, 30 odd years. Normally I do like the plot of the movie, the cast of the movie, what I did and didn't like, then my final Nerdly Presents Off the Reel review rating, and honestly I'm not entirely sure I can do that with this movie because I'm going to be jumping all over the place. I will try not to do spoilers. You can go over to nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British website for all of your news, reviews and exclusive interviews. We like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget. You can see what other people have had to say about other movies over there. Somebody may have reviewed this movie over there. So again, check out what they have to say up front. This is a mad little film. It's not at all what you think it's going to be. It goes in many different directions, and I think that's why I actually kind of loved it. But The Highest Stakes, as IMDb will tell you, I'll just read out the synopsis and then we can dive a touch deeper into it. 5 strangers are invited to a high-stakes poker game, but as the night unfolds and buried secrets come to light, they discover the game isn't about winning, it's about survival. And yeah, we do have 5 strangers, all seemingly unconnected but interconnected. Will they be connected? How do they all come together for this game? And that's the end of kind of the nutshell plot, but really let's just get into the film. We open the movie with this young girl. We find out she's called Celeste. She's in her house. It's late at night. She's in bed and we hear a break-in downstairs. Her mum comes running through into the bedroom. She gets Celeste and she takes her and hides her in the closet. She's like, stay in here, don't move, whatever you hear, don't get out of this closet, just stay here and you'll be safe. The mum goes back out into the house. She goes and gets herself a knife. She is then confronted by the masked man and they end up having a bit of a scuffle. She falls down onto the first floor of the house and the killer goes down with her, or the assailant goes down with her, and then begins to choke the life out of her. We go back upstairs into the closet where Celeste is, and sat beside Celeste is this fully grown woman who's kind of just like, don't worry, he will get his just desserts. He'll get what's coming to him. They go out back onto the landing and they arrive just in time to see the life choked out of Celeste's mum. We skip ahead to what I perceive to be the current day and we meet Seth Green. Seth Green's walking into this hotel. In this hotel is where we're going to start meeting our characters, and what we will come to find is going to be the competitors for our high stakes poker game. We meet a congressman who seems a little bit down on his luck at the point of time. We meet a cop who comes across as a little bit sleazy and probably quite dirty and all up for the money. We meet this surgeon who clearly has some debts behind him and has a little bit of mystery to him. And then we also meet Aurora, and Aurora is this absolute dynamite, smoking hot woman, but it's also the woman who was in the closet at the start of the movie with the little girl. So we're meeting all these people. We know that they're going to play the poker game, and it seems like there might be some sort of interconnectivity amongst them, but we're going to find out that out as we go along. And one more guy, there is also a con man involved as well, and we'll find out a little bit more about that. So they kind of go into this game, and we realize that Seth Green is there to host the game. He's also there to sort of host a game show that's going out live for people to see, but not as in live out to the public, just live to a select audience. And he's like a failing actor who's going to make sure that the goods come across. They get told that when you lose a hand, you're out of the game. Does that mean you're out of life completely? You may actually be killed. We're not entirely sure, but it's kind of implied. We begin to find out that they can't actually leave the hotel if they even wanted to. There are higher stakes to each hand of the game. Everyone is a little bit connected in certain ways, but I don't want to say too much about that because that leads into the final third of the movie, and that is a spoiler. But all is not as it seems is what I'm trying to say. And then get into our cast and crew of this movie, starting with Seth Green as Samuel Nicholas. I really love what he's doing with this. He seems to be having an absolute ball. He's got dialogue and a script and a story that he can really work with. A character that is really sort of like bombastic and embellished and out there. towards the end of the movie, but is quite reserved and restrained towards the start of the movie. I think this is some of the best work I've seen Seth Green do in a short while. Kevin Dillon plays our cop, Detective Michael Quinn, and he's just this really shady, dirty, down on his luck cop who will do anything he kind of wants and really doesn't care too much about the rules, the law, or anything like that. The more you find out about Kevin Dillon's character as it goes on, you really dislike this guy. You just don't want him to get very far in this movie. He's just a shady shitbag, and let's be honest, Kevin Dillon is very good at playing shady shitbags. Charlie Weber as Billy Gray, who's our resident con man. We find out that Billy Gray has done one too many cons, and life has kind of caught up with him, and the con that got him to this game also connects him to some of our other characters. Dylan Walsh is our congressman. He's gone through a bit of a divorce. Things haven't really worked out. He also ends up being the stepfather of the young girl from the start of the movie, which is how he connects to it all. Dan Bukatinsky is our surgeon. Not a massive great deal to say about him. He does have some stuff to do, but compared to some of our other characters, like I would say himself and the conman character don't have a massive great deal to do in this movie. They have some good dialogue, some good scenes, but they're not really propelling the story that much further forward. Someone who is propelling the story massively forward is Eloise Lovell Anderson, a British actress born in Essex. She comes in with this bombastic British accent that I was absolutely loving. She plays Aurora. You will also realize straight away she is the woman that's in the closet at the start of the movie with the young girl. We'll find out how that ties in. One of the things I don't want to do is give too much away about that character, the Aurora character. It's a cool character, very multi-layered, very multifaceted, and what appears to be at the very start this woman who is there to kind of be the tantalizing tease of the movie. That's kind of how she comes across to begin with, but as the movie goes on, she's got some chops. She's got a lot to do in this film, and I love that for this actress because it gives her a chance to really put herself out there. And I have seen Eloise in other movies, other low-budget independent British movies, things like Villain, things like Morris Men. I've seen her around, and it's really cool to see her front and center giving it all in this movie. Pancho Mola, who is absolutely doing a lot of the heavy lifting, most of the grunt work in this movie as the character of Dante. He is just everywhere in this film. He's in just about every scene, and he's just chewing up the scenery like a little son of a bitch, and I loved him in this film. But I do also want to mention Tony Dean Smith, because this movie is mental, and Tony Dean Smith is our director, kind of keeping things together, the master of ceremonies, and shows us exactly what we need to be shown and when. The editing's fantastic in this film. The music that we have is not too overbearing, but is doing some of the heavy lifting. Not a lot, but it's doing some of it, especially when you come to reveals and whatnot, and it becomes a thrill ride. It becomes enjoyable as hell. It becomes laugh out loud when it wants to be, and then throws a little bit of messaging to you, which I was not expecting. So what I did and didn't like, I really do like the story we have here, and I love where it goes. It's not where you expect it to go. Hints are laid out early on, and at one point I'm like, I think I know what we're doing here with this whole poker game. Like, I don't think it is about winning money. It definitely is about survival as is laid out, but I could kind of sense there was a little bit more to it. And that's where our characters come in, and that's where our cast come in, to kind of divert your attention away from what you think is going to be the obvious ending. And everyone's doing such a good job making you forget what you think is going to happen, and then just letting the whole movie wash over you, and you begin to ride with the characters. I do believe there is going to be rewatchability to this movie. I do want to go back and rewatch it again soon. I'll give it like a week or two before I do it again, but I've got a funny feeling this movie's going to be led in such a way that you'll pick up on other things as you go along. I have to believe that would happen. What I didn't like about it, it's a little bit too short. It's not the longest movie I've ever watched in my life. I feel like we could have had a little bit more time. I would have loved to have spent a little bit more time with the Seth Green character, because he does have a bunch of the best lines. He has a lot of the best dialogue. But I don't know, there's just like a little bit more. When we start to get the reveals, it does feel like that just comes out of nowhere. We get a soft reveal early on, but we already know that this is going to be a decoy. It's a red herring. This isn't really what it's all about. We know there's going to be more to come out as the movie goes. But then when we do get to the reveal of the movie, I don't know, it just feels like it crept up really quickly on me. That would be my only criticism. What I would do and where I would put it, I don't know. I'm not a filmmaker, I'm not a director, I'm not an actor, and I'm not a writer. I literally just enjoy movies for what they are, talk about movies for what they are, and when I finished this movie, as much as I found that I'd enjoyed it, I felt there was maybe something just tantalizingly close to making this a perfect movie. So I'm just going to get into my Nerdly Presents Off the Reel review rating because I don't want to get too much deeper into anything else. What I will say, I think the cast are all excellent. This is like a great ensemble. Some actors that I'm not entirely familiar with, some actors that I do know and I do love and I have seen in other stuff. And that's what I'll say. This is the best thing I've seen Seth Green in for a while. I just can't get over how good he is in this role, and when you realize who his character is and what he is going to have to do and what he has been doing all along, you just sit there and go, absolutely perfect casting, perfect casting. I really do love Seth Green. So my rating for The Highest Stake, I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 5. Is it perfect? No. When it comes to the end and the last third of this movie, it does get a bit bonkers, and I think that might be where a few people do get lost in the weeds on it and begin to change their mind on what they've been thinking the entire way through, because I think they'll be enjoying it, and then you get to that point and you're like, really? That's what it was all about? For me, it was fine. I kind of had a feeling this is what we were doing. I just didn't expect it to double down on it, and it really doubled down in a big, bad, passionate way. And if you double down on things like that, I can't fault you for it because you've committed to it. So yeah, I'm giving the movie 4 out of 5. I genuinely, really enjoyed this movie. I would love to see something else within this realm. I would love to see Seth Green play this character again. My only criticism was that there were some parts of the movie I feel like we could have extended a little bit more, or thrown in a scene here to kind of explain why they are the way they are, or something like that. Again, it's not up to me what I would have done. It was just a feeling that I had when the credits rolled. But it is damn near perfect. It's a freaking ton of fun. It's a metric ton of fun, I will say. I enjoyed this movie. The dialogue is nuts. The performances that we're getting are brilliant, committed. And I really did enjoy The Highest Stakes. So you can check the movie out, you can go and see it. It'll be all over the streaming, I'm sure. What I will say is, though, if you did enjoy it or you didn't enjoy it, come back, hit me in the comments down below, let me know what you thought. We can talk a little bit more about it. That's where the conversation starts. Just try and keep it civil. We don't need to be getting in the weeds with any name calling. At the end of the day, a group of people, a talented, creative, passionate bunch of people got together to make this movie, and that is what should be celebrated the most, because everybody, especially Eloise, Lovell, Anderson and Seth Green, are having the time of their lives with this. My name's been Kevin Howland. This has been Nerdly Presents Off the Reel, and Off the Reel review of The Highest Stakes. Please do hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. Check out all the other reviews down below. We have loads and loads of stuff for you to check out. But most of all, guys, if I don't see you through the week, I will see you in the cinema.